Ladies, listen closely because what I'm about to say might just change the way you look at every hello you've ever gotten from a man. Let's be real, we've all obsessed over texts, replayed conversations, overanalyzed emojis. But what if I told you the real truth about how a man feels isn't hidden in his messages or his compliments? It's right there in the way he greets you. Yes, that very first moment he sees you. The look in his eyes, the shift in his energy, that split-second smile or hesitation. It's not random, it's revealing. Because here's the truth, no one tells you, men show their cards early, way earlier than they think. And if you know what to look for, in that first hey, that first hug, that first second of eye contact, you'll never be confused about his intentions again. In fact, some men reveal more in the first 5 seconds of greeting you than they do in 5 dates. In today's video, I'm breaking down the greeting styles that scream, "I'm already yours," even when he hasn't said it out loud. You'll learn how to spot emotional availability, genuine interest, and yes, even hidden obsession. So before you waste another minute wondering if he's serious or just being polite, watch this all the way through. Because the next time he says hello, you'll already have your answer. They say first impressions matter. But when it comes to romance, they don't just matter, they define everything. And we're not talking about what he's wearing, how expensive the date is, or what pickup line he tries to use. No, we're going deeper than that. Because in the first 5 seconds of seeing you, a man reveals what he doesn't even realize he's feeling yet. Why 5 seconds? Because the brain is wired to scan for emotional cues instantly. Before he even thinks about what to say, his subconscious is already reacting to your presence. His eyes might light up, his body may lean forward, his smile could appear without him meaning to. All of these micro signals come rushing out before he can filter them. In those first moments, his body language isn't polished. It's not curated, it's real. That's why it's so powerful. Does his voice change slightly when he greets you? That drop in tone, that almost unintentional softness, is a dead giveaway of emotional intimacy. Does he hesitate, like he's a little nervous? That's not weakness. That's investment. That's the body saying this person matters to me. And here's the real gem. Men who aren't serious, who are just playing a role, usually overperform in the first few seconds. They come in too confident, too smooth, too quick to impress, because they're performing, not connecting. But when he's truly into you, there's a kind of unspoken reverence in the way he looks at you, like he's checking himself to make sure he doesn't mess this up. So if you've ever walked into a room and felt that instant shift in someone's energy, like they saw you and everything else faded, that wasn't just attraction, that was emotional engagement. And it started before either of you said a word. Those 5 seconds, they're not random, they're a window into what his heart hasn't told his mouth yet. Watch closely, because when you know how to read that energy, you'll never wonder where you stand again. You walk into the room, and his entire face lights up. Not just a polite smile, not the kind of grin he gives to the waitress or his co-workers. This one's different. It's softer, more vulnerable, almost like he just saw someone he didn't know he was waiting for. That's the lit-up face smile. And if you've ever been on the receiving end of it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This isn't just about attraction. It's not about you looking good that day or wearing the right outfit. This smile comes from something deeper. Emotional connection mixed with surprise, admiration, and comfort. It's a physical reaction he can't control. And that's what makes it so powerful. You might notice his eyes widen a little, or his eyebrows lift just slightly. There's almost a childlike joy that takes over for a second, like he forgot his walls. His usual cool, calm demeanor drops, and in its place you see someone genuinely excited just to see you. That right there is intimacy in its rawest form. Showing up without being asked, without being dressed up. And here's what makes this moment even more telling. He's not trying to impress you in that instant. He's not calculating how to charm you. His face reacts before his brain has time to catch up. That kind of involuntary response. You can't fake it. And most guys don't even know they're doing it. Now here's the key. If he greets you like this consistently, not just once or twice, but almost every time he sees you, it's not a coincidence. It's because seeing you brings him genuine emotional ease and pleasure. That's not something that happens with every woman. In fact, most men only show that side to someone they truly feel safe with, or deeply drawn to. And even if he's trying to play it cool afterward, that smile is the crack in the armor. It's the moment his guard drops. Pay attention to it. That split second when his eyes soften, when his posture opens, when his entire presence warms up. That's your signal. That's the truth slipping through before he has the chance to edit it. The beautiful, and sometimes heartbreaking, thing is men often don't know how much they're saying with that smile. They think they're keeping it all inside, playing it close, but their face always tells on them, especially when their heart's involved. So the next time you catch him giving you that lit up look, don't doubt yourself. Don't dismiss it as he's just being friendly. That kind of smile isn't casual. It's instinctive. And in most cases, it's a silent confession. He might not say it yet. He might not even realize it fully himself. But in that moment, he's already yours. There's something subtle, almost imperceptible, that happens when a man is emotionally pulled toward you. His voice changes. You've probably heard it before without realizing just how significant it is. He sees you, opens his mouth to greet you, and suddenly his voice drops. Just a little. Softer, deeper, slower. And it's not random. It's actually one of the most instinctive signals of emotional intimacy and attraction. Now let's break this down without making it sound like a science lecture. When a man lowers his voice, even slightly, in your presence, it's his subconscious trying to create closeness. A dropped tone isn't about dominance like some people think. In the context of greeting someone he's emotionally invested in, it's the opposite. It's about vulnerability, familiarity, and calm energy. It's his way of saying, without realizing it, I don't need to put on a show right now. I feel at ease with you. It's the same voice he'd use late at night during a deep conversation, or when he's talking to someone who brings him peace. Think about this. Most men are taught to project, to appear confident, loud, in control. But when he greets you and suddenly his voice takes on a softer, slower, almost warmer quality, you're not getting his performance, you're getting his presence. This is especially true when the drop is noticeable compared to how he talks to others. Maybe with friends, he's upbeat, energetic, even a little goofy. But the second he sees you, the mood shifts. The energy slows down. His voice is quieter, more intentional, like he's tuning out everything else in the room. This greeting says, I see you, not just physically, but emotionally. It's an unconscious invitation into his emotional space. And men don't do that lightly. Most men don't even know they're doing it. But when you notice it, it's impossible to ignore. And let's be clear, this isn't about being smooth or seductive. This isn't a pickup tactic. It's often raw, sometimes even awkward. He might fumble a bit, clear his throat, or act like he doesn't know what to say next. But that tone shift, that's where the real connection lives. In many cases, a man's voice reveals his emotions faster than his words. So while you're waiting for him to confess his feelings, ask you out, or make a move, his voice may have already done it. When his tone drops around you, when it carries a softness it doesn't carry with anyone else, that's your sign. That's his heart, talking quietly through his throat, before his brain gives it permission. Pay attention, because when a man greets you like that, it's not just a hey, it's a signal. And whether he knows it or not, he's already yours. There's something that happens when a man looks at you just a second too long. And it's not just visual, it's emotional, it's intimate, it's revealing. That extended eye contact. It says what his words haven't dared to yet. Now I'm not talking about a casual glance, not the kind of look you'd give a friend, a coworker, or someone walking by. I'm talking about that pause, the moment when his eyes find yours, and instead of looking away like most people do after a beat or two, he stays. He holds the connection. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't fumble for something to say right away. He just looks. And in that moment, there's a quiet intensity that speaks volumes. You see, our eyes are deeply wired into our emotional systems. When someone looks into your eyes longer than what's socially typical, it's often because they're feeling more than what's socially acceptable to say out loud. It's a silent confession, a kind of emotional electricity. And for a man, especially one who's trying to play it cool, that extended eye contact is often the one thing he can't control. What makes this kind of greeting so powerful is that it instantly strips away distractions. It's not performative. He's not worried about how he looks. He's not focused on what to say next. It's just you and him, and a moment hanging between you that neither of you knows how to name yet. In that look you might see softness, or awe, or even fear, the kind of fear that shows up when someone realizes they care more than they thought they would. Sometimes it's a flash of admiration. Other times it's a kind of emotional hunger, like he's trying to memorize you in real time. And here's what most women don't realize. When a man lets himself look at you like that, unguarded, steady, focused, it's one of the most vulnerable things he can do, especially if he's emotionally invested. Most people avoid eye contact because it's too real, too exposing. But when he holds it, he's not hiding, he's present, he's with you, even in silence. Now some men will try to cover it up. He might joke right after, look away fast, change the subject. But the look already happened. That split second was the truth, and everything after that is just him trying to pretend it didn't say what it said. So don't underestimate that greeting. When he locks eyes with you like the world faded out for a moment, that's not random. That's not friendly. That's emotional attachment peeking through. He may never admit it out loud. He may not even be ready to explain it to himself. But if he greets you with that kind of eye contact, he's not just attracted to you. He's already feeling you. And yes, whether he knows it or not, he's already yours. There's something that happens when a man feels connected to you but isn't ready or brave enough to say it out loud. His body starts speaking for him. And one of the clearest signs, the way he finds an excuse to touch you, even just briefly, during a greeting. It might be a quick touch on your shoulder, a light hand on your back as you pass by, an extended hug that lingers just a beat too long, or even a casual high five that doesn't feel so casual. It's never aggressive, never too much, just enough to create a moment of closeness. A physical bridge between the two of you. And here's what's really happening. He's creating a reason to feel you in his space. Even if it's fleeting, even if it's innocent on the surface, his body is craving proximity. That kind of contact, subtle, barely there, isn't about lust. It's about comfort, warmth, emotional safety. Most men don't consciously realize they're doing this. They'll frame it as friendly. They'll say, "Oh, I'm just a touchy person," or brush it off like it's nothing. But don't ignore it, especially if he's not like that with other people. If you notice he doesn't initiate that same kind of physical contact with anyone else, that's your signal. Touch is one of the most powerful, unspoken languages we have. When someone touches you, even in small, socially acceptable ways, it triggers connection, safety, trust. It also exposes emotional vulnerability. And in a greeting, that moment of touch is his way of expressing closeness without putting himself too far out there. It's like his body is saying, "I want you close," while his mouth is still pretending to play it cool. Think about how often you greet someone you're not emotionally invested in. Do you reach out for them? Do you hug them every time? Probably not. Because touch requires emotional permission, even when it's subtle. So if every time he sees you, there's that little moment where his hand brushes yours, or he leans in for that soft one-arm hug, or he finds a way to gently guide you through a door, it's not random, it's desire, it's emotional presence, and more often than not, it's the early stage of falling. Now to be clear, this isn't about physicality in a romantic sense. It's about energy, connection, intention. His need to feel you near him, even for half a second, is a reflection of how emotionally drawn he is to your presence. That kind of instinctive behavior can't be scripted. So the next time he reaches out without a clear reason, just to touch your arm, to hold on to a hug a little longer, or to brush his hand against yours, accidentally, don't dismiss it. Because if he's greeting you with touch, he doesn't offer to anyone else. He's not just happy to see you. He's already yours. It's just one word. Hey, simple, effortless, casual. But when it comes from him, and it's paired with that look, that energy, that pause in the air between you, it doesn't feel casual at all. And that's exactly why it's worth paying attention to. There's a particular kind of greeting that men give when they're trying to hide everything they're feeling. And it usually sounds like nothing. Just a short, relaxed, hey, sometimes with a smile, sometimes with that playful tone, or sometimes with no expression at all. But here's the twist. The more casual it seems, the more likely he's emotionally activated. Because that version of hey isn't actually careless, it's calculated. Not in a manipulative way, but in a self-protective one. He wants to sound unaffected, low effort, in control. But underneath it, he's overthinking everything. He's already thought about what to say, how to say it, what you'll think of him, how to sound cool, and he lands on something so simple, it has to mean more. That one-word greeting becomes a mask. It's his attempt to stay composed, to not give away the fact that he feels nervous, hopeful, excited, or maybe even a little overwhelmed by seeing you. So he leads with something soft, casual, like it's no big deal, but it is. Now you have to look deeper, because this greeting is less about what he says and more about how he says it. The tone of his voice, the timing, his body language. Does he pause before speaking? Is there a tiny smile at the corner of his mouth? Does he seem slightly awkward, like his confidence is there, but just barely holding it together? These are the tells. Often the disarmingly casual hey is a man's version of emotional camouflage. It's what he does when he wants to stay close, without putting his feelings on display. It gives him access to you, without risking rejection. Because if it's just a hey, then he hasn't really put himself out there, right? But if you listen closely, you'll hear the softness behind it. If you watch closely, you'll see the warmth in his eyes. That hey might be saying, I've been thinking about you, or I'm trying not to look too eager, or even please notice that I showed up. It's quiet, it's subtle, but it's real. And here's the secret. Men don't usually greet women this way, unless they're already emotionally invested. That laid-back tone is often a cover for intensity they're not ready to show yet. So the next time he greets you with that simple disarming hey, and it feels like there's a pause in the air, don't brush it off. Because behind that one word, there's probably 100 more he doesn't know how to say yet. And if he's greeting you like that, he's already yours. So by now, you've seen the signs, the way his face lights up when you walk in, the subtle drop in his voice, the intense eye contact, the need to touch you, even if just briefly, and that casual hey that somehow feels anything but casual. But what do these greetings actually mean? Here's the truth. None of these behaviors are random. When a man greets you in these ways, it's not just about how he feels in the moment. It's a reflection of the emotional space you occupy in his mind and heart, whether he's ready to admit it or not. Let's be honest. Most men aren't trained to articulate emotion. They're taught to stay cool, play it safe, and not let too much show. So instead of telling you how much they care, they show it. Not through grand romantic gestures at first, but through micro moments of connection. And greetings are one of the purest, rawest places where those emotions accidentally leak through. When his smile softens for you in a way it doesn't for others, that's emotional priority. When his voice drops and his energy shifts, that's comfort mixed with attraction. When his eyes stay on yours longer than necessary, that's unspoken vulnerability. When he finds a reason to touch you in the most casual ways, that's emotional magnetism. And when he says hey, like he's trying to sound chill but is clearly feeling more, that's guarded affection breaking through. What all these greetings really mean is he's already emotionally attached, even if he hasn't made a move, even if he hasn't said a word about his feelings, even if he's pretending not to care, or trying to keep things light. You are affecting him. You are standing out in his world. You're not just someone he's talking to, you're someone he's feeling things for. Whether it's the beginning stages of connection, or something deeper he's not ready to name, it's there, it's real. And here's something else to consider. Most people don't fake consistency. If he greets you like this once, it might be a fluke. But if he keeps doing it, if those emotional patterns keep showing up every time you see him, then you're already part of his emotional routine. He may be slow to act. He may not know what to do with those feelings yet, but they're showing up before he can stop them. And greetings are often where they show up first. So don't second guess what your gut already knows. When a man greets you like this, it's not politeness, it's not friendliness, it's the quiet truth trying to speak. In the smile, in the tone, in the eyes, in the moment. And if you've been wondering where you stand with him, his greeting already gave you the answer. He's already yours. So now you've seen it. The lit up smile, the voice that softens just for you. The longer than normal eye contact, the small, meaningful touches, and that disarmingly casual hey that somehow says everything. And if you're here, you're probably wondering, okay, so what do I do now? Here's the truth. You don't chase. You don't overcompensate. You don't shrink. When a man is greeting you with that kind of emotional weight, even if it's subtle, your role isn't to match his energy out of obligation or to read into it too hard. Your role is to hold your presence with confidence and let him feel the space that exists when he's around a woman who knows her value. If his greeting is emotionally charged, you don't need to overreact or act like it's nothing. You simply respond from your center. Smile if it feels good, meet his eyes, let the moment breathe. Because sometimes the most powerful response is letting him feel the energy he's already creating, without you rushing in to fill the silence. You can flirt back if you want to, but you don't have to. Why? Because he's already showing his hand. The pressure is off of you to prove anything. If anything, this is your moment to observe and stay emotionally grounded. Respond with warmth, not over-eagerness. Respond with grace, not games. And here's the part no one talks about. When a man greets you like you matter, like he's emotionally involved, even if he doesn't say it, that's his move. Don't take that away from him by jumping ahead. Let him sit in that feeling. Let him realize what he's doing. Because if he's truly into you, your calm, confident presence will draw him in even deeper. You don't have to make it complicated. A simple, steady gaze back, a slow smile, a light touch on his arm if it feels aligned, or even a softly spoken hey you that mirrors his energy back with just a little more warmth. That's enough. You're enough. You don't need to be clever or overly charming or play it cool. You just need to be present and receptive, not passive, but open. Let him feel what it's like to greet a woman who sees everything and still stays grounded, who recognizes his energy without making it the center of her world. That balance, that's magnetic, that's high value. Because when you respond with stillness, softness, and self-assuredness, you're not just acknowledging his emotional presence, you're honoring your own. So the next time he greets you like you already belong to him, smile, because maybe he's right. Maybe without even realizing it yet, you're already his. As we wrap up, take a moment to really feel what you've learned today. These greetings, the smiles, the voice shifts, the eye contact, the touches, and even that simple hey, they're not just small moments. They're windows into his heart, often before he even knows what's truly stirring inside himself. If he's greeting you like this, it means you matter to him on a deeper level than casual acquaintance. It means he's already emotionally engaged, even if the words haven't caught up yet. And that's powerful, because feelings don't always need to be spoken out loud to be real. Now, your next move isn't about forcing a confession or trying to speed things up. It's about trusting the signals, trusting yourself, and holding your worth steady. When a man shows you these signs, your energy is your greatest asset, calm, confident, and sure. You don't have to chase, question, or doubt. Instead, lean into your own presence. Let your light shine quietly but unmistakably. Let your smiles be genuine. Let your eyes hold his gaze without fear or hesitation. When you do that, you invite him to step fully into the feelings he's already beginning to realize. Remember, love doesn't rush. It unfolds naturally, like a flower opening petal by petal. When a man greets you in these ways, it's a gentle invitation, not just for connection, but for something real, something lasting. Your power lies in recognizing those invitations and responding with grace and authenticity. Let the relationship grow at its own pace, rooted in mutual respect and emotional honesty. So what's your next move? Keep being your amazing self. Stay open, stay present, and trust the quiet language of connection. Notice those small moments, embrace them, and if you ever feel unsure, remember, if he greets you like this, he's already yours, in ways words can't fully capture. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and share, and hit that subscribe button for more insights into love, connection, and confidence. Your journey to love is already unfolding, and it's looking brighter than ever.